Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I love that welcome. Hi, Renee in the back. I hope you're doing well tonight, and I hope everybody's doing well tonight. And today we have a very, very special guest. But before we get there, I want to do a shout out to my beloved niece, Gina. Happy birthday, Gina. I love you, honey. And never was a cloudy day, my favorite mug. So I wanted to say shout out to her. And hi, Stacy. Hi, Lori Counts. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Milton. Hey, Cece. How are you doing, honey? Hey, Kim Ann. Notice the yellow tulips. Kim Baxter, it is very exciting. Thanks, Arlene. I appreciate you saying that. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Wendy. Happy belated birthday to you, Wendy. I did see that it was your birthday. Yes, no, on the 2nd of March. Hi, Lori. Hey, Judy. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Kathy, Tammy Lynn, Penny. Hi, Dorothy, Dora. Hey, Cheryl. So sweet, everybody. Well, oh, hey, Marge from Canada and Carissa. Hi, Carissa. This is very exciting. We're going to have the best time today, you guys. We're going to have such a good time. So, normally I do the astrology, and everybody did ask me, though, today about today. Everybody was feeling either over emotional or tired. I got a lot of fatigue from people and a lot of over emotions and like what's going on. And actually, today was actually what I would consider a good day. It was Mercury conjunct Jupiter, and that's actually a good thing. Today was actually a good day. It means blessings. Okay, it meant blessings today. And I'm not sure why some people were hit a little harder than others today, but there's definitely a lot of energy moving, right? You can feel the energy moving through the March. Anyway, some people have a headache. Yeah, it's been something. Oh, aloha. Hey, Stacy, aloha. So, oh, hi, Mary Knight. I'm glad tonight you're listening for the first time. This is going to be so funny, so fun tonight. So, we have a guest, everybody. I have to get to this great guest. We have a guest that I met 4 years ago. We were talking about this on October 25th, 2016. Our guest came in with Lisa Williams, and they came in and they did our show with Dr. Shirley when we had Both Sides Now TV, and they came to our Hollywood studios, and it was really fun. It was a great evening, and I always remembered Harry very fondly. And tonight we have as our guest, I'm going to tell you all about it. Our guest is Harry T. He is one of the most acclaimed celebrity psychic mediums in the world. He's advised A-list celebrities, heads of state, royalty, like to know that one, politicians, media moguls, corporate CEOs, tycoons, government officials, and law enforcement agencies. He appears regularly on television programs and radio show. He's been on the Today Show, Today Extra, KTLA, Morning News, and Larry King now. He's been on that. And also Small Z's Surgery, which I'm not sure what that is, but Harry is from Melbourne, Australia. So I'd love to welcome Harry to our program today. Hi, Harry.
Hi, Kellee. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. My gosh, the last time I saw you was 4 years ago with Lisa Williams.
I can't believe it. Time really flies. And
yes,
like we were talking about before the show, considering that COVID happened, like nearly a year was a scratch, right?
right.
So it made it feel like it was even longer than 4 years almost because
yes. Well, it was like, don't you kind of want to look at the world, what it was like before COVID and now what it is now? It's just different.
Definitely. It's totally different. But the great thing is we're able to connect like this. So, obviously I wasn't able to be in your studios, but now look, we can do it like this.
Which is the best. It's so exciting to do this. So tell us, what have you been up to during COVID as a working medium?
Yep. Okay. Well, it's been an interesting time. Here in Australia, I'm normally on television about 40 times a year. On Today Extra, which is the Today Show, after 9 a.m. Obviously, you guys have the Today Show in America as well.
Yes.
An Australian version. So I was the resident psychic for about 3 years on the show, and I would be on it every Friday. And then COVID hit, and it really changed everything. So I haven't been back on the show for ages. So I'm looking forward to starting back that I'm meant to be starting back on that mid-year. So it's been on hiatus for me. So it's been totally different for me. My whole schedule is different. And like everyone, COVID changed my whole life, I didn't see my family for about 6, 7, no more than that, nearly 9 months. It was insane. Yeah.
It's insane.
It was crazy.
Yes.
But the good thing is it got me to really do a lot of work on myself and, focus on things like my health, which I really did need to focus on, and writing my cards, which I'm sure we'll talk about. So
I'm so excited. Yeah, he's got some new cards, everybody, and we're going to be, having fun with them tonight too. Well, it's a lot. I mean, this period of time is for all of us to go inward and do our inward work, which it's funny. We had talked beforehand. You told me that 4 years ago, you had predicted this.
Well, that's right. So in 2016, on the Today Show, I was making predictions. It was actually the first time I was on the show. And
it's a big one.
Right. And the producer asked me to send like a whole list of predictions, and there were royal predictions, there were celebrity predictions, all of that sort of fun stuff. And in it, I wrote, and this was all in black and white, so we've still got the email. I wrote, within 5 years, there will be a flu-like illness that has some connection with China, and it felt like it would take over the United States. Now, the producer read this and was like, that sounds really scary. And then the next point was a lot of people will pass away from this. And they were like, okay, all these predictions are super fun, and then it's like really morbid, so let's just not talk about that. So we didn't discuss it on the show, but it stayed in the email, so then when COVID hit, and it was the early days of COVID, and I was still on the show as the regular, the email resurfaced, and they were like, hold on a second. In 2016, you talked about something like this. And then we got to rehash it on the show. And it was funny. The hosts were like, maybe next time we won't cut it out and we'll just let you say it.
That's an extraordinary story. I did a show with James in 2019. Yeah, July of 2019. And we were talking about predictions. And I said in 2020, there's going to be something massive. It's going to change our lives. Our lives are never going to be the same. It's going to be bad. It's going to be rough. I'm going on and on, but I never had the word pandemic. I didn't know that. I didn't know it. Didn't even come into my psyche. All I knew was it was going to be a big change, but you actually predicted it 4 years ago. That's extraordinary.
2016, it was June 2016, and it was, again, the words coronavirus, pandemic weren't in my psyche either.
Right.
But flu-like illness, because I saw people physically getting sick.
Wow.
So I saw them just drop it. And I saw China, I saw it all. And it was crazy. Like, even myself looking back, I still can't believe I got that. But, I don't think it's one of those things that we were really going to be able to do anything about anyway.
No, I agree. I agree.
Whether we were able to say this or not,
what were you going to do? It affected everybody on every continent.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, what were you going to do with that information? When you receive information, how do you receive information? Do you see it in a dream? Do you see it during the day? Do you see it at night? How do you get it?
That's a great question. Obviously, for us all, it's different. When I'm doing my mediumship, I'm very clairaudient, so I hear it a lot.
Okay.
When I'm doing my psychic work, which is predictions in the future, I see a lot, so it's very clairvoyant. It's almost like a moving image in my mind. Yeah. And it's like I'm watching a screen play out.
Yes.
And it's really fascinating. And obviously, when I'm in the zone to do a reading, it's constant. When I'm doing my everyday life, I try to really shut it off. So I try to not get bombarded by it. Yeah. But then sometimes I'll just get visions, and my friends know me really well, and they'll be like, okay, Harry's seeing something, because apparently my face does something, and I don't know that. Like, I'm not aware of that, but apparently I look like I'm doing something and I'm having a vision, and they always know. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, once I was at my friend's daughter's birthday. This was recently when restrictions sort of got lifted. We were allowed to go outside and stuff. I was having a vision, and she literally said, he's having a vision. And I heard her, and I thought, how does she know that? Like, I'm not saying anything, but my face is doing something. Yeah.
Wow. So she could just tell.
Yeah. Because she's known me for like 20 years. So she knows if I'm getting something. And I did have a vision, and I told her what it was. And fast forward, I think it was 2 hours later, that happened. So in my everyday life, when I get visions, that aren't readings, they're just premonitions,
Right.
I suppose you could say. It's like normally warnings of things to happen.
Okay.
It sounds very Jean Dixon, doesn't it? Like it's very.
I love Jean Dixon.
So
Who
do
didn't?
So do
Who
I.
didn't?
So do I. And it's funny because I say that because we
Right.
love even though she sort of was before my time, but
Oh yeah, she was before my time.
right, she was before our time, right?
Yes.
But I looked into her because there are some things that I really resonate with her. Like, she went out there, her and there was another one.
Truly.
Sylvia Brown was another one that sort of went out there.
Yes, she did. Sylvia Brown did.
But she, those two people were out there before it was popular. So
Yes.
that's
It's so true.
yeah, it's true.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
it's fascinating. And
Uh-huh.
speaking of, I know you have the ability to look into the future.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to mention or talk about
Well,
what you see?
Yeah, look, I want to just let people know that 2022, so the next year, it's going to be a better year. So, okay, it's going to be much better. People are still sort of in PTSD mode.
Well, absolutely. And in some of our states, they've opened up all the doors. So in a couple of our states, not here in the United States, and it has really caused people to have PTSD. It's interesting that you would say that word. Absolutely.
Yeah, because, it's funny. I've never actually said PTSD publicly ever.
Oh, well, you said it to the right person.
I said it to the right person, of course, the expert. But it is true because I was having a conversation the other day with another friend of mine, and I said, I really feel like I even have a bit of trauma from all of this.
I think we all do, actually. We all do it. I was talking to a client today who was afraid. She wanted to get the vaccine and she didn't know what to do. And then she missed her appointment. I mean, it was like a whole deal here. But the trauma that she realized, all the trauma that she had been in through this whole thing. Do I get one? Do I not get one? I haven't been out of the house. I haven't seen anybody. It's very traumatic.
It's hard.
It's
hard.
very hard.
And like where I live in Melbourne, we had the strictest lockdown, I think, in the world. Like,
tell us about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we were not able to leave our house for more than 1 hour within a 5-kilometer radius, which I can't work out the miles, but it's not much. So it's you, and if you're only allowed to walk outside, like exercise, with a mask within a 5-kilometer radius, and we had that we were locked down for about 9 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How did you get food?
Well, it had to be in your 5 kilometers. and very luckily where I live, I'm surrounded by shops and parks and all of that. But in saying that, it was still very difficult because and we had a lot of police monitoring, which I think is good because at least, we didn't want it to spiral out of control.
Right.
But what happened was, especially here in Melbourne, we not only had to go through COVID, we had to go through the repercussions of the lockdown from COVID. And it was really hard. I mean, honestly, I didn't see my friends or family yet. It was about 9 months.
Oh, my God.
I got to know my neighbors more than I ever have.
Right.
Because we had no choice. It was no choice. And what about the toilet paper thing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We had it huge here in the United States. Huge.
What was that?
I really don't know.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
This is going to make me super, super relatable to everyone. Like I remember going to the store really needing to get things like toilet paper, thinking there's going to be none. And it was really hard to,
No, it was unbelievable what everybody has gone through. And going forward in 2022, so you think that this is going to be much better then? Okay.
Because 2021, like we said, we've still got the PTSD. We're still recovering.
Yeah.
It's recovery mode. But going into 2022, I think we're going to be stronger. I think we're going to be more united. And I really do see the world changing. I actually have this feeling that it's sort of prepared us for other problems to happen. Because if you think about it, Kellee, in our lifetime, we haven't really had that many problems, world problems. We've been pretty, fortunate. We haven't had world wars. We haven't had, those sorts of things here. The last pandemic was the Spanish flu?
Yeah, 1918.
1918, and obviously, of course, the AIDS pandemic, that was in the 1980s. But, apart from that, we haven't really been impacted on a global scale like this.
Yes.
So So for people like us who have never had to go through this, it's taught us things that we've never had to learn.
Yes.
So
Yes,
life,
that's very true.
so I think we are better prepared as human beings to move forward into life, because the next time something happens, because I do think there'll be another thing down the track.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, now that we've had this, there's going to be something else, but we're prepared for it. So we're able to go through it. And 2022 will be a better year. But we had on the news this morning, there was an earthquake in New Zealand. Just happened last night. I think we would have been sleeping when it happened. But I kept vibing an earthquake, and I thought it was actually here in Australia. It wasn't. It was New Zealand. So
Wow.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of those sort of natural sort of disasters and weather being weird. I do see that. So earthquakes and tsunamis and that.
Well, we just had a really weird thing in Texas here. I don't live in Texas, but Texas, the state of Texas, had it. There was a freeze. It snowed and it was just frozen for several days where they had no power.
That's weird.
I mean, it was awful, awful, awful what people have had to go through in Texas. I mean, that's a place that has much warmer temperatures. It had never been at -2 ever in the history. And -2 I live in Wisconsin. That's like a daily thing here. But they're not prepared for it, So
Yeah.
it's why to your point, it's really all the things that's happening now. It's going to be really interesting.
It
And
will be
yes,
interesting.
Ann Hamlin Wilkins says, "Hi, I'm new here. My name is Ann." Hi, Ann. And Jennifer says, "Besides 9/11, we have been sheltered." Yes, we had 9/11 here in New York,
Right.
and that was that was really probably the beginning that most people have had.
Right.
But yeah, it's unbelievable. But I agree with you that it's going to get better in 2022. Moving on, but it's preparing us for something.
But you know how you just brought up 9/11? It's really interesting how you brought that up, because that's exactly right. Before that, travel was different, right? After 9/11, travel changed forever all over the world with security and everything.
Yes.
And we got used to that. So I think it's like you get used to the new sort of normal.
Yes.
I think that's true. That happens.
Oh, it does happen. It absolutely do. It's amazing how resilient we are, the human. And I truly know that the souls that are here that wanted to be here during this time came here to have this experience, and it grows our soul, it matures our soul. This has given us a time to go inward. Everybody was going so fast and missing everything, but going as fast as they could in their lives. And I think this happened really at a divine time in some way. And I really believe that the souls that didn't make it, that passed in COVID, or passed even earlier before, like suddenly these people were just dying. People were just dying before COVID. It was odd. You'd know somebody and then it was the oddest thing. And I absolutely believe that they didn't sign up for this.
You're so right.
As a soul, they didn't sign up to have this experience. They'd already been through their stuff.
You are so right. Which really means that we should all be patting ourselves on the back for being brave enough,
right,
to be living in this time.
That's true. To be brave enough here, to be a brave soul here is everything. And if you're here, it's because you really wanted to be here. Shannon Jones says there was an F3, F4 tornado close to our area, rare, especially for this time of year. Wow, that's just amazing. That's just extraordinary.
Okay,
it hasn't been happened in 20 to 30 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I do see sort of things like that happening in odd places. So just be prepared. Like, stock up on food, stock up on, even things like candles, I find. Because, if you're talking about power outages, well, candles or other things that can give you some light that sort of go back to the basics. We were talking about people, that predated our time. Sort of like learn from those sorts of people,
That's exactly right. It's so true. I was actually thinking about what my grandparents would have done. And everybody, my grandparents went through the Great Depression, and so they didn't have a lot of anything. Nobody had a lot of anything. So I also look at it how it's going to affect all these new babies that are born. Have you seen so much light coming in? So many people having babies now.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's amazing. These souls are like, no, sign me up. I want to be there. I'm like, whoa.
But you know what's interesting? We're coming into the period of time where we are all getting used to the new life. So it's almost like they're coming in where we're already getting prepared for it. So they're going to do amazing things.
Oh, they're going to do
Yeah,
amazing things.
yeah.
They're going to do so many amazing things. It's going to be so exciting to see them. But oh yeah, Gretchen White says Little House on the Prairie. So seriously, Gretchen, that's the kind of the life I have right now. Um, it's
I
so
love
true.
that.
Oh my God. Elisa McGuire says, didn't Edgar Casey predict the natural disasters?
Edgar Casey is another one that I forgot to mention before.
Oh,
When we talk about Sylvia Brown and Jean Dixon, Edgar
yeah.
Casey, I mean, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
what
That's
an amazing, amazing human being.
amazing human being. Absolutely.
Yeah, Edgar
Um,
Casey. Actually, he's probably at the top. He's probably at the
I
top.
think he's at the top.
I think he's at
Yeah.
the top. Yeah.
The sleeping prophet. Yeah,
Oh,
he's definitely at the top. He
yeah.
works through and comes through with James Van Prague. He works with
Oh,
James.
get out.
He comes through with James, and he's been a guide to him for a long
Oh,
time.
that's
Yeah,
amazing. Well, that makes
yeah,
sense.
it totally makes sense, especially
That
when
makes
James does
sense.
his healing work through
Yeah.
him. It's really, and James got to sit in his chair. He had a special chair. Edgar Casey does. Yeah, I did.
That is
I
amazing.
know. Wouldn't that have been something
Oh, so
to?
trust me to bring up Jean Dixon then. Of course, my
Right.
personality won't be the spot.
That's so funny.
Oh,
Well, I have a question here for you. I get these questions that people write, and I have to. Oh yeah, Gretchen White, Notre Dame. Oh, absolutely,
oh, of course. Let's
yeah,
not
absolutely. That
again.
goes without saying. Absolutely.
Definitely.
So we have a fellow named Mark Johnson, and he asked this question. He said, "Do all souls want to learn and evolve, or do some just want to come here just to chill?"
You know, I feel that our souls that are born into this lifetime, into this physical incarnation, the purpose is to grow and to learn
Yeah.
and to love. So I think those three things, to grow, to love, and to learn, are why we sign up for coming here. And some people who go through easier sort of lives, I think they still show a purpose as well. So I really think that everyone that is born really comes here to grow, to learn, and to love, whether it is for themselves or to teach others. So they either come to be teachers or they come to learn. So
Yes.
I believe that.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. I do too. Let's see here. And I have another question.
Yeah.
So he says, this is interesting. He said, is every single soul here accounted for?
Is
And,
every
or in other words, does anybody get lost or forgotten as a soul?
Ooh,
That's an interesting question.
that's an interesting question. I don't think that we're ever forgotten. I
Ever.
think I think we're never forgotten because
Ever.
I believe that we are creations of the creators. So
Yeah.
we come from that. So whether you want to give the name God, higher power, universal, whatever you want to resonate with, I believe that we are fragments of that. So we can never be forgotten because we're all part of it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What an
Absolutely.
interesting question.
Yeah, isn't that it? He asked some really interesting questions.
Oh,
He has another question that I have to ask. He says, "Is outer space still part of the Earth dimension?"
well, I feel like a lot of us want to migrate to
Right?
another planet.
Right.
So
Oh gosh.
I definitely think that we're all in the galaxy
Yeah.
still. But Kelly, I'm not sure what your view is on this, but do you believe in life on other planets?
Oh, I teach a course on it, of course.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
no, I'm
know
a
that.
star seed from not from here. I
Oh,
can tell you that. I just
yeah,
ended up here to teach, but
a
no, I'm not from here.
100%. And how I definitely agree and know that. When I was born, because I was literally born this way. I don't know if I can show it on here, but I have an ear. Look at my ear.
Oh my gosh, I see it.
Look at my ear. I don't know how to show it.
Yes, it's like
Yeah,
it's special.
I have a very different ear. And I remember I was actually bullied at school for it. And yeah, those
Oh,
people I'm sure are now like regretting bullying me.
I bet. I bet.
And I remember it was very difficult. My mother passed away when I was very young, but before she passed, we were even thinking, did I need to get plastic surgery for it because I was so bullied by it, and I would always wear my hair to cover my ear because people were mean. But now, I've become, a renowned psychic medium. I know that this had something to do with.
Well, you know that it did. It had to. And it's often what I find are people that are not from here, that are star seeds, have
Mhm.
some sort of, and it's usually their ear. There's
Yeah,
something on the ear with a
my
little
ear,
pointy, or it's got
yeah,
something on it.
yeah. My little
It's,
pixie ear. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're not from here. You're
I'm
definitely
not
not
from
from
here.
here. No,
I'm not
no, no,
from
no,
here.
no. Rebecca Briggs Baker says, "Does Harry T have any tips for developing psychic awareness?"
Oh,
Great
that's a
question,
great
Rebecca.
question. Definitely. So we all have the ability to be psychic, and the best way to start it is truly through meditation and prayer. So prayer can be like setting an intention, calling on your guides, your angels, your spirit entourage, and meditation is listening. So it's like listening for the guidance. So stilling the mind definitely is the first step in increasing your psychic awareness. Listening to a guided meditation can help if you have a busy mind like me. I have really a busy mind. So listening to a meditation helps me a lot. But they're the two things. Prayer and meditation will help your psychic awareness just boom. And things like the oracle cards that I've made, which come out in May. And
Let's
these
tell us about
are
those,
I
and let's
made
use
these.
them.
I made these to actually help people develop their own psychic awareness, because sometimes you get an instinct, but you ignore it. But then a card will tell you something, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, the card's telling me what I feel. Yeah, that's validation. So
Right.
sometimes we only need the validation to really expand on our own abilities, because we all have them.
Right.
And my cards are based on the chakras. So you can see how colorful they
Oh,
are.
they're beautiful,
They're just beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So they're based on the chakras, which go hand in hand with our psychic abilities. So when you sort of can,
Oh, there they are, the energies
oh,
of the
they are.
skull.
Look at my cards.
Oh,
Energy
oracle
oracle
cards.
cards.
Oh my
Yep. So
gosh.
they come with a book. So they come in a box with a book, and there are 56 cards, and they're all based upon the spiritual readings that I've done over the last like 15 years.
Wow.
And the messages in there are very to the point, and they're relative to everybody. So I kind of encompass all topics. There's a yes or no card. There's, there are amazing messages in there. And the guidebook teaches you how to read for yourself and for others. So, yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know.
This is exciting.
Thank you.
How should we do this? Let's take some,
Oh, we can totally pull some
let's
cards. Why
play with
not?
these now. Let's
I
pull,
have I
yes.
have a
Oh,
sample.
Jody W says, woohoo, can we pre-order the cards? Yes, I think you can pre-order them, right?
Yes, absolutely. So they
Yes.
come out in May. Yes, they're available for pre-order right now. In Australia and New Zealand, they're available on Booktopia.
Okay.
And for international, Amazon hasn't listed them yet for some reason. I think it's because they're not out yet. But you can get them from bookdepository.com. So if you're in the States or
Okay.
or in the UK, you can go to Book Depository. You can pre-order them. They come out in May. So you'll get them sent to you in May, and they're amazing. Like, this is my sample deck that I have that I've been using in my readings, and they're so incredible. I just pulled the yes card.
Yeah. Perfect for that. I love that. Yes, I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So Maureen Myers-Webb says, I'd love a card. All right, let's pull one for
Oh, of
Maureen.
course.
All right, Maureen, we're going to pull a
All right.
card for you.
Let's pull a card. All right, Maureen Myers.
Okay.
Okay, let's pull a card for Maureen. Oh, all right, hold on. That's definitely for Maureen.
There you go. When they fall out like that,
Ooh,
that's it.
purpose. She got the purpose card. So
Ooh.
this is okay. Now I'll explain the card because obviously they're new and they're not out yet. So this is connected to the throat chakra because you can see the blue, and
Yes.
it's number 33. So it's interesting that she's got a double digit there. So I wonder if you see, Maureen, if you ever see double digits, whether it's 3 3s or 11 numbers like that, because you've got that here in the eye, if you can see that. And it's all about meaning, dedication, and intention. So this is all about the purpose you're serving, Maureen. You have a lot to give others. This is a time for you to really live your purpose, and that purpose can be changing a life on a daily basis by simply just smiling at them. So Maureen would have a beautiful aura that would really help people, and her purpose here is to shine that light that she has.
Wow. And I have to tell you, I'm a number 33 in numerology.
Oh, are you? No
I
way.
am. Yeah, I am a 33.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I know.
Of course that's
So
gonna happen.
that was perfect. I love that. I'm like, is he talking to me? Or is he?
Of course that's gonna happen. Like, isn't
It's,
that amazing?
it's amazing. I love this. Let's get Cece. Let's get Cece Otto one. Definitely we'll get one. She's going to buy a pack. Can we pull one for her?
Thank you. Thank you. Of course. I'll definitely do that. I love her name, Cece.
Isn't it a great name? She's such a great soul.
Beautiful name. As I say this, I was seeing the heart chakra, and look what I've pulled. I've pulled love. So,
Oh,
and that is the green. That's the heart chakra. Oh my God, Kellee, 22.
get out.
I
Get
swear to
out.
God.
Are
It's
you a
number
22?
20. Can you see it? It's
I
number
can
22.
see it. Okay, so
Okay, how
that's
did I pull 33 and 22? So
I
there are
I
numbers
actually don't
within.
know
So
what a
numbers
theme.
start.
And
So numbers are
anybody,
picking up.
and I've done a lot of numerology on this show with people. So if anybody who's a 22, pay attention to this, okay?
Exactly.
And if
33
you're a
to 22.
33 or a 6, pay attention to that. Or if you're a
That's really
4,
crazy because obviously there aren't that many double numbers. So that's a
that's
bit weird how that's happened again.
that's
Um,
amazing. That's a message right there.
That's a message. So, and again, because it's for the broader audience, so that makes sense. But love is obviously all about the heart chakra. So,
Yes.
I would encourage Cece to incorporate some green into her life, and it's all about adoration, romance, unconditional, self-love, love of others, love coming into her life, or even a boost of love. So she's surrounded by love right now, and first and foremost, it's self-love. So I think that Cece, you definitely are exuding that love energy, but it's also coming in.
I
So,
love it. I love it. That's good. Let's pull a card for Joanne. She's having trouble here. Joanne Wilson, I'm struggling in a period of despondency. Any advice to feel better?
wow.
So, Joanne,
Well,
we're going to get a card for you.
we've just pulled the strength card for Joanne. You can see there's
Wow.
the lion. This is the solar plexus. It's the yellow. It's card number 19. And it's all about power, courage, and resilience.
And that's the word for
And
the year is resilience. We were just
resilience.
talking about that.
So she needs to
Wow.
almost get her inner lioness out and roar
Yes.
like that inner lioness and have the courage and the power and the resilience to get through this. She has the strength within. Strength is not a physical thing, it's actually within us. And sometimes when people seem like they're stronger than us, they're not. They've just
Yeah.
sort of mastered being strong. So I would
I
encourage.
love that you said that. They've just
Thank you.
mastered it.
They've just mastered it.
It's very
And
true.
absolutely. And by the way, with the cards, the book that comes with the cards, it teaches about the chakras and it teaches about each card individually, where I discuss things like this. So it really will help. But yeah, she just needs to basically regain that strength that is within her, and she will do this. She will be okay.
Good. I hope that helps you, Joanne. Let's see. Okay, wait. Let's do another one. Lisa Malia.
Writing
She says,
comments.
"I would love a card, please."
What was her name? Sorry.
Lisa. I had it right here, and where did it go? Lisa Malala.
Lisa Malala. These names are great.
I
That's
know.
like, whew. Okay, Lisa Malala. Okay, let's pull a card for Lisa Malala. So
Okay.
basically, and I teach the card spreads to do. So you can look at the week ahead. You can pull one card. You can do a year spread. I teach you how to read your chakras in it. It's going to be a great deck. Yeah, Kellee, I'll
Oh,
send you.
I can't wait.
No, once they're out, you'll definitely be getting them, and I think they'll just resonate so well because if you're already psychic, they will just add to it, and if you want to develop it, they will definitely do that for you.
Wow.
Okay, so Lisa's card. It's interesting. It's a throat chakra again. It's blue. It's communication. So this is all about speaking and listening. It's card number 30. And speaking, opinions, listening. So I wonder if there have been some communication issues going on around her, because this is all about really hearing what is unsaid, like hearing beneath the words almost.
Yeah.
So the communication card always represents speaking your truth and also hearing the truth. So I would encourage her to speak her truth more, but also when people talk to her, listen to what they're really saying. Communication is very highlighted right now for her.
Right. Oh, I love that. People are so excited about your deck, Harry. This
Oh,
is
thank you.
so much fun. They're saying,
Thank you.
Joanne says, "Thank you so much, Harry. That helps me to carry on and tap into my strength." Oh,
Oh, God bless
bravo,
you. Thank
bravo.
you. Thank
I
you for
love that.
thanking us.
Oh my gosh. Dodie Williams Green says, "You two work great together." Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
thank
Well, he's
you.
a sweetheart. He's easy to work with. Thank you.
Yeah, and I love Kellee. So.
It works out. It works out great.
Exactly.
Let's see. We've got. Okay, so wait. I'm going to say this. Hope Unterschutz says, "I feel something similar about 11:11." So we should talk about 11:11, and you know how people see this often. It has meant something bad is going to happen, but we aren't going to help you.
Hmm.
It has not been my experience. It means
Mine
something bad
neither.
at all.
Mine neither. I think, Kellee, some people resonate differently with signs.
Okay.
So for me, I don't believe that that number means something bad is going to happen, because symbolically the number vibration doesn't mean that. However, I think if someone's sign means something, then it can. So if this person is interpreting the number pattern as a sign of something bad to happen, I think it can. Because,
Okay.
for example, someone might see a raven or a crow and
Yes.
okay, so for example, and think it's a bad omen, whereas other people will think it's a good omen. So
Exactly.
the symbol hasn't changed; it's the interpretation.
Right. It's so
So,
true.
mhm.
So hope I hope that let's change that thinking to
Yeah,
something broader, something amazing. Is
and
1111 opens a door.
exactly. You know what that means, though. If she's seeing that, I also feel be conscious of what you're thinking at that time.
Oh
So
yeah.
at 11:11, instead of thinking, "Oh my gosh, it's 11:11, it's a sign something bad is going to happen," transmute that energy
Right.
and see it as, okay, it's 11:11, something wonderful, fabulous is going to happen.
Exactly. I love that. Let's answer this. Shannon Jones says, "I need guidance with next steps to be on track to fulfill my soul's person." Is what she said, but her soul's maybe her soul's destiny, or her soul purpose. That's what it is, Shannon.
We pulled two cards for her, and
Okay.
I want to show both of them,
Okay.
okay? Okay, the first one is healing. So you can see the medicinal sign, and you can see it's number 26, repair wholeness, healer. So she's a healer. So, and I think in her question, she says, help others. So she's definitely a healer, but healers need to heal themselves before they can heal others.
Boy, is that the truth.
Okay, so I feel that it's been a time for her to really do a lot of self-healing and a lot of work on her heart chakra. She feels like she's been hurt, which a lot of us have, but it feels like she needs to work on that hurt so she can help others. Okay, so that's that message for her. And this is powerful. This is lessons. This is the
Oh,
lesson card. Now, this is not relevant to one chakra. It's all-encompassing. Hence, it's a rainbow.
okay.
So my cards, there are obviously 7 chakras, but then there's an 8th group of the rainbow cards, which is miscellaneous. It's all-encompassing. They're normally very powerful, very to the point messages, like lessons. So it's all about her journey, her growth, and her experience.
Wow. And I would say I would agree with that, Shannon.
Yep. So it's about
Sure.
healing of yourself, and then all of the things that you've experienced, they're all lessons, they're building blocks for you to help you to grow. And I see her definitely helping others. I actually have a vision of her almost having X-ray vision into others. So she might even find that she has some form of like medical intuitive ability,
Wow.
stuff like that happens. So she might be a little bit of an empath, things like that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I hope that's a great thing that you just said to her.
Thank you.
Let's see. So Cheryl Anderson, let's answer this. She says, "I lost my job of 30 years as I was in
Oh.
the airline industry. Oh, honey, so sorry. And I'm unsure of what the future holds for me. A little hint or word of encouragement would help." Okay, you definitely need a card, Cheryl.
You definitely need a card. Cheryl, first and foremost, we want to say we're sorry about that. The
Yeah.
travel industry has been hit.
Oh, huge.
Huge, huge. And I'm sorry. Look, the message here, as I'm shuffling this, I hear, at least with you, it had nothing to do with you losing your job.
Yeah.
Okay, so that you need to know, because this person loved her job like it was her family. Okay, and I can see that she loved all the people there. Gratitude. So the card here we've pulled is gratitude. It's the card 34, appreciation, kindness, and recognition. So this is the universe's way of recognizing the good work that you did for 30 years in your industry.
Wow.
And although it has come to an end, it's actually a time to be grateful, because not many people can say they had a job for 30 years in the one spot.
Yeah.
So reviewing it as a place of being grateful that you had that wonderful job in that airline role that you had in the industry, and seeing it as, okay, now it's a new time for me.
Exactly.
As I say that, I actually have a vision of her doing something more of her own, like self-business, self-employment of some sort. So I wonder if she's been thinking of that, because I see that, and you know what? I've just pulled self-empowerment.
There you go. Yay.
That is always about, woohoo, doing it for yourself.
Right.
So, it's about belief, confidence, liberated. It's number 21. And you can see putting the hand up, that's the solar plexus, which is, the color of yellow. And it's all about your self-esteem, your confidence, your personality, your power. Okay. So you need to shine, darling. And I think you're going to do something that's more self-employed.
Wow. That's fantastic. Now we have a this is a great question. Robin Severin says, "Can you please speak to the high numbers of autistic children coming to Earth at this time?" I can, but do you have anything you would like to say about that?
You're better at this than I, but I feel that they're very special.
Very special.
Very special.
There's from highway galaxies, faraway galaxies.
Beyond. And like, you're obviously more of an expert at this than I, but when I see children with autism, they just learn differently. They process differently. But their gifts, like their light, because I can see their auras, their light, it's like, whoa.
Well, and they wanted to be here during this time. They really wanted to be here now because they're going to bring us information that will help move this society forward. So they have a very big purpose to be here. They wanted to be here, and they've come from all galaxies. That's why we say now on the spectrum, because there's not just this or this. It's all different from all everywhere. We're going to see all kinds of things this year, but they're the most special. I've always believed that.
They teach us a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Kellee, I just want to add something to that. The parents of those children also are very special.
Very special.
Very special.
Yeah. Oh my God, is that the truth? Saron Gaz, I don't know if I'm going to say your name right, honey. Could I please have a card? I'm suffering from depression and anxiety. So this is for everybody suffering from depression and anxiety. Sorry, honey.
Well, we pulled the protection card.
Ooh.
So, which is interesting. That's a very powerful card. You can see the evil eye symbol in it, actually.
Yes.
Shield, evil eye, boundaries. I feel that all the people out there that are going through stuff, we all do, anxiety. I'm sort of an anxiety personality as well. So I get it, okay? And we all have our stuff. But I feel that we need to remember that we are protected and that everything we are going through, in some way, we have divinely planned for our soul's growth. Right. So I believe that what this person is going through and what others are going through when they go through these hard times, it's to definitely learn something. Now, if it's not about yourself, it's about others. And I feel there's something about boundaries. So there might have been even something to do with family. I'm picking up. I don't know why. Sometimes we have family and issues with family. A lot of us do. I think there's some boundaries that need to happen. And there's a man in spirit that comes around, and it could be like a fatherly energy that feels very present. So I think that they're protecting you and they're guiding you. And I don't know if you're into evil eye symbols, but get one of them and wear it. They help.
Interesting. Wow. That's very interesting. Okay, so let's see. Okay, autistic children have the purest love. That's so true, Carissa. That's so true. Min Tunbridge says, "Why don't people look at the stars? I see the sky gods every night. I love looking at stars." And that's how you can tell if you are a starseed, if you're always out there looking at those planets.
You want to know a secret? I've never told this. This is
okay. Tell us. We won't tell anybody.
When I was a teenager, I used to do something called moon baking.
Moon baking?
I don't think anyone's ever heard of it. I think I made the word up. I think I made it up. I don't even know. I just used to lie down under the stars and the moon. I literally, so you know how we sunbake? We lie on the beach and get a suntan.
Yes.
When I was a teenager, this is no word of a lie, I would get like a towel outside in the backyard and I would just lay down and I would say, I'm moon baking. Yeah, I would be under the stars and the moon, and I was probably like, it was... Well, my mum passed away when I was 14, so it would have been around then. And I would just moonbake. So I would absorb all of the rays of the moon and the stars. So that's how I definitely knew I was from somewhere else.
Oh, that's how you would know for sure, because you'd be pulling in all your energy of everything that you would have needed, especially as a starseed.
And you know what was really interesting? I found it really helpful because I lost my mother at such a young age, and I was the oldest of 3 children. So you can imagine. Okay, it was really difficult. But I know that it happened for me to be on my path.
Yeah.
I found comfort in being under the moon because it felt like the feminine energy was coming through. It was incredible.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. That makes so much sense.
doesn't it?
Wow.
There you go. That's an exclusive. I've never told anybody that, Kellee.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, it's an extraordinary story, and I mean, and losing your mother at 14 is
Amazing.
really enormous. And
And you know,
she's
Kellee,
got to be one of your guides.
oh, she is. But you know, Kellee, what's really interesting about that? When you come to the realization that you've lived longer without your mother than when you
Oh,
had your mother,
oh,
it's such a bizarre thing.
it's
And
got to be.
you know, the other day I was on YouTube watching a video of, this is going to sound so random, but it is, a Madonna. I was watching a Madonna interview of all things. I don't know how it popped up. Sometimes suggestions pop up, and it popped up. And I was watching it, and she was talking about how she lost her mum at such a young age, and how I think she was like 4 or something. And she was talking about how she's never been able to call her mother on the phone.
Oh.
And I watched that thinking, me neither. Like, I never had a phone to call. Yeah. So it was the weirdest thing that I actually had that realization of, I've never actually called my mum on the phone. Like, isn't that the most crazy thing?
It's huge, actually. That's such a big deal.
So it was almost like I needed to
Wow.
find that interview. So
Yes.
I could almost heal that part of me that I never even realized needed healing.
Wow. That's really
Isn't that weird?
mind-blowing. Well,
Mind-blowing.
it's huge,
And
actually.
then I got my phone out and I thought, and I scrolled through and I thought, yeah, well, my mum didn't have it. Like, I don't have a phone number. Like, my mum didn't have a number. Like, isn't that crazy?
They because how did they even have cell phone? 14 year,
No,
15 year.
no, when I didn't have cell phones back then. I think cell
Wow.
phones might have just come out like the year after my mum passed away.
Wow.
Because I remember when I first got a cell phone, it was like a brick thing. And I
Right.
remember it was so expensive to text message everyone. But, you know, we were children, so you didn't think about it like this. But now looking back, I think, whoa, you know, I've never been able to text my mum or call my mum.
Mm.
Yeah, huge.
Wow, it's huge. Do you have
Huge.
dreams of your mother? And
I do, and I feel my mum around me a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, I did you know, there have been so many times that actually, you know, I will say something about someone. I had a reading from a lady so long ago. I mean, we're talking ages ago. She's retired now. Her name, I don't know, maybe you're familiar with her. You might not be, I'm not sure. Her name was Anne Gaiman. Have you ever heard of her?
no, is she in Los Angeles or?
No, she wasn't that well known. She was more, she was from Washington, D.C.
Okay.
She was a spiritualist. So she wasn't sort of like, you know, well known publicly, but I somehow got hold of it. I don't know how, but I did. And I was young and I had a reading from her that blew my mind. And she gave me messages from my mother, and I was young, this is so long ago. And I remember her telling me, you will become very well known in your work because your mother will help you. And I never really thought of it like that because, again, I was young when I had this reading. And I was in the States, I was traveling. I don't even know how it happened, but it happened. And she said, you know, your mother passed when you were very young, and that was true. And she said, you will become, she didn't even know who I was. I mean, back then I wasn't even well known. So it's not like she could have known I was a television star. I wasn't. And she said, you'll be in a very well-known medium. You'll be on TV and it'll be your mum that will help you. And that really got me through because although I didn't have my mum physically, I have my mum spiritually.
Yes. Yeah, boy, that was a message you really needed to hear at that exact time. Wow. That's just thank you for sharing that. That's
look,
and it's for everybody who's lost a mother. I mean, it's really it's
and I've
amazing.
never shared this stuff, Kellee, ever.
Oh,
ever.
thank you. Gosh, honey. Wow. Marcy Melzer says, how can the cards be used for mediumship?
Mhm.
Great question, Marcy.
That is a great question.
She's been receiving messages from her sister who passed last October.
Okay, well, the cards can be used. I'm going to look for the card that I'm thinking, oh, here it is. That wasn't even hard to find. The card is Spirit World. So in the deck, I have a card that is Spirit World. It's to do with the third eye chakra, angels, guides, and loved ones. So in a reading, if this card pops out, it means that your departed loved ones are always with you. And then the loved one that you think of, that pops into your mind is the one that is sending you the message. And I find personally as a medium, when I use these cards, the loved one that I'm thinking of, if I want a message from them for myself, I just use the cards and I use the messages that the cards have given me to be the messages from the loved one.
Oh, I love that. And by the
Yeah.
way, that card was a 38, which equals an
It was.
11. So it was a 33, 22, and 11. So I'm a Virgo. I
Kellee.
don't miss any detail. I try not
Kellee.
to. See, we're on a roll here.
We're on a roll.
Let's see. Amen
We'll
to
have to do
family
this again
boundaries.
sometime. This has been amazing.
Isn't this fun? Amy Vargas says, I love this collaboration this morning. So it's morning where you are.
Yes. Well, in Melbourne, it's hit 12.
Oh, it's tomorrow here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the future.
You're in the future.
It's Friday here.
Oh, so Daryl, I have to say this, Daryl Perkowski Cunningham, I'm getting these cards to help talk to my son. Her son had passed away.
Oh.
Let's get her a card. We're going to give you a card, Daryl.
Oh, how interesting. This one just wanted to come out. This is the clairaudience card. So you can see it's the hearing. It's card 35. It's all about hearing, whisper, and messages. So this is about you hearing messages from your son. So
Wow.
the cards will help you. And what I find happens is because the cards act as a bridge to like celestial realms, your son is now part of that. So your son is part of that team that we all have around us. And the messages will come through the cards easier because we get out of the way. You know, when the cards come out, you can't say that it's me imagining. The cards are telling you. So that will help you. But clairaudience is amazing. That means that you're going to hear messages from your son.
And pay attention. You will. You will. And that's so interesting. Marcy Meltzer, who was just on, she said 11 is her life path number. So that was perfect. That worked out very, very well.
I think we're getting lots of comments on here.
We're getting so many comments on these.
I'm loving this.
People are loving your cards. And let's see. What was the name of the eye on the boundaries card? Adeline Merce asks, what was the name of the eye? Oh, it was called the evil eye.
Protection.
Protection.
Card. And the boundary shield, that the symbol was the evil. Actually, I've got a tattoo of an evil eye. I keep forgetting I have that.
Oh my God. What made you
I saw my own tattoo on the screen because I've had it forever. I forget that it's there. And I just rolled my sleeves up and I just saw it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So the evil eye, it's a symbol that you can get on jewelry. You can get a tattoo if you want. It's a symbol that helps protect you from energies that are lower. And that's negative energies, if jealousy, envy, that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I grew up with that symbol in my culture. I'm of Armenian and Lebanese heritage.
Oh.
So I grew up with the evil. It's
they talk about that with the Lebanese, don't they? That's a big one here.
Very, very popular.
Natasha Craig Ryan says, can I please have a card for a fertility prediction?
Ooh, okay. Natasha. Okay, great. Well, the first thing is she's put emojis I can see on the screen, which are green and the 4-leaf clover. That's good energy because green is all about fertility. So that's good.
Yeah.
So let's pull a card. Oh my God. Divine timing.
Great.
So it will happen when it's meant to happen. So order, cycles, patience. So just be patient. It will happen, but it's all about the trying and it can get exhausting, but it's about being patient. Yeah. So I think that she's been trying and struggling, but it's there because it's all in divine timing. And I have a saying, Kellee, and I'm pretty sure I've written this in the guidebook, the timing of the universe is always more important than the timing of our watch.
Oh, I love that. You should have that. Do you have that framed somewhere? Or you should have a shirt or something because that's really important.
It's really, it's written in the guidebook. I've written that for that card, actually. It's one of the sentences. And when I reread my own words, I thought that's a great thing. So now I tell people that. And I'm quoting myself.
Why not? It's perfect.
Why not, right?
It's time.
But it's very true. It's very true. So all in divine timing, sweetheart.
Wow, wow. Let's see. Christine Meehan says, I love when people get the messages they need to hear. Oh, me too, honey. It makes me tear
Oh,
up with happiness. Thank you both for doing this.
oh,
Oh, I love it
Christine,
too. Oh
that's
my
really
gosh.
sweet. And, I mean, Kelly and I, we do this to help others. That's why we do it. But, hearing that gratitude keeps us going, because I think
Absolutely.
that it really does. And, I remember when I was, started doing readings when I was very young. And I remember just being told by spirit, gratitude is their payment. I remember hearing that.
Wow.
So ever since
Wow.
then, Kelly, every time I finish a reading, I always say thank you. I always say thank you, because
Yeah.
I believe that gratitude is the highest form of payment we can have.
Absolutely, it is. Wow. Well, you've just been wonderful having you here, Harry. I can't
Thank
believe it's been
you.
almost a full hour has already
Oh, wow.
happened. I mean, it's just time, just where has it gone? I don't know. So tell everybody how they can reach you, what your next thing is, how they can buy your cards. Let's
Thank you,
talk about that
Kelly.
again.
Thank you. Okay, well, so my name is Harry T, and my website is harrytofficial.com. My Oracle cards are available for pre-order right now. They come out in May, and you can get them from Booktopia in Australia or Book Depository from International. You can pre-order them right now. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Harry T Official. And yeah, I'm around, and I just hope that everyone that was part of this show got a lot from it. And obviously there were a lot of comments, so if we didn't get to you, obviously, maybe another time. But I hope
Please come back. You
I
definitely
would
will
love
come back.
to.
Oh,
I
we
would love
definitely
to.
come back, and
I
I
would love
can't
to.
wait to have your cards. I can't wait to try
Yep.
them. And
You'll get
this
them.
is just so much fun. And
Thank
everybody, on Monday night, James and I are going to be doing an astrology class on Monday night. So we're just going to do basic astrology, but people always ask us, kind of questions about astrology. So do you do astrology, Harry?
I love astrology.
Isn't it
I don't,
great?
I don't do it like properly. I know enough about it, like to be able to do it. Like I'm a typical Gemini.
Yeah. And
So,
you're even in Vedic astrology or in Western astrology, you're a Gemini, either one.
oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. You really are. Yep, yeah.
Kelly, what's my playing card?
Your playing card? Oh,
You
you're a
know those
five of
cards?
diamonds. Yes, you're a
Oh,
five of
Father,
diamonds.
great.
Five of
Bit-
diamonds. So we'll talk about that. If you're a
Right, yeah,
five of
okay.
diamonds, and
Amazing.
if I did the numerology correctly, you're a nine. If I did
Yep.
it pretty quickly, and
I love
nine, James is a nine. Nine comes in to complete a lifetime. They come in to
Oh, wow.
complete, and a
Amazing.
five of diamonds works on self-esteem, but they're always here to do something with the angelic realm, with the higher kingdom. Always come in with a higher kingdom purpose.
That's
Always come in
amazing.
with that higher kingdom.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
we'll
Thank
talk
you.
more.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Well, anyway, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Harry. It was great to have you on. Thank you, Renee. And we'll see everybody Monday night. Take care, everybody.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.